Hi, I'm Mike Zaida, and today's presentation is entitled Today, Generative AI is Just a Parlor Trick. And I'm going to share the screen here, bring up some slides, and away we go. All right. Also going to put this on play. This is my latest column from IEEE Computer, which will come out on the 1st of May. But since it takes so long to come out, I've decided to put these on YouTube ahead of time because some of the issues are issues today. All right, let's move on. So generative AI is all the rage for its ability to imagine artistic single images and 17-second photorealistic videos, all without interacting with a single real artist. It looks cool, but generative AI is currently just a parlor trick. This is the outline of my talk, and I will be going through this. This is how you could read the paper in one slide. You can't swing a dead cat without hearing about some sort of new generative AI trick that is just going to be the bomb diggity. Generative AI is an application that sits on top of a large language model and is best known for allowing the input of a textual description of something you want to see, and then computing an image that it guesses might match your request, depending on how detailed your request was and how long you're willing to wait for that computation to take. Some of the best known generative AI models that imagine images are DALL-E, Midjourney, and Google Gemini. With these models, we can ask them for an image of a dead cat bounce and get something like the following figure. Dead cat bounce. It just shows a cat bouncing in some way. Now, previous to this, I had no idea what a dead cat bounce was, and I'm somewhat happy to be enlightened by Midjourney at this moment. You can even ask Midjourney to /imagine a dead cat bounce from one spacecraft to another under a moonlit sky. It gets something that is not completely crazy. So you can see this, this satellites, this out there, the spaceships, and there is the cat out in space. And of course, if we go online to the Oxford Languages webpage, we find that Midjourney is not even close to what the real definition is. A dead cat bounce is a stock market term. It means a temporary recovery in share prices after a substantial fall caused by speculators buying in order to cover their positions. And is the recession really over, or is it a dead cat bounce? This is a very old expression. And maybe those speculators are all invested in generative AI application building companies to try and make up for missing the NVIDIA run-up on which almost all of the generative AI computing happens. I saw a presentation yesterday that said 88% of generative AI is computed on NVIDIA hardware, and that's just about all of it. Let's talk about OpenAI's Sora. Right now, generative AI mostly imagines text to single images. But lately, OpenAI's Sora has started being able to generate short, 30 seconds or less videos of detailed photorealistic scenes. The longest video that Levy saw in his paper, which is referenced to, was all of 17 seconds long and required a pretty detailed textual description like the following. This is what was sent to the Sora model. Beautiful, snowy Tokyo City is bustling. The camera moves through the bustling city street, following several people enjoying the beautiful snowy weather and shopping at nearby stalls. Gorgeous sakura petals are flying through the wind along with snowflakes. And that you have to write the text that generates that. What I'd like to do is something more interesting. I'm unimpressed by what Sora does in that 17-second video. It's not really photorealistic, it's hyperbola. You want to impress me, write the text that generates the complete Pixar film, Toy Story. Toy Story was the first completely computer animated feature film. It is 81 minutes long. And since it was all done digitally, you can probably get, the RenderMan files and turn it into a Sora video, do that, and I may change my mind. Well, this is the games column, and more I find myself writing in the overlap between interactive experiences and filmed entertainment. There are a number of things we would like to do to make generative AI more useful. One is performance related. We would like to describe our desired 3D objects, characters, and scenes in text, and then send it to be rendered and have that happen near instantly. Right now, if I send some small text to Midjourney like slash imagine a dead cat bounce, it takes about 90 seconds to compute 4 images. That is way too long for iterating concept art ideas, and this is just a small idea on a single picture, not a 17-second feature film. Another thing we want is a way better interface than just typing the text over and over again with some small changes. So we kind of want a workspace kind of tool. A simple thing I would love is workspace where I type in my first text and then edit what I type with small tweaks to the text. And then I hit a go button and it goes and does the computation and returns in 1 second with a high resolution image of what I wanted imagined. Another thing I would like is art style control. Again, I would love that to be something that I set in a workspace of some sort and don't have to type over and over again. All creative endeavors usually have some sort of desired art style, and most large language models that I have tried will give you something if I don't specify it, and that's kind of not okay. The workspace system should say, hey, you haven't specified the art style. Want to choose one from this list, or do you want to draft it directly? That would be way better than me having to enter the art style textually each time I want to see a new concept. Even better would be if it had a pull down menu of some sort that allowed me to see what was rendered in newly selected art styles instantly, or maybe show me 4 or 10 or whatever number, and then let me click on something to keep the one I liked without me having to type it out or select it again. And we need assurance that the style we end up choosing is not copyrighted or trademarked by someone else, as our personal litigation budgets are not really all that large. Another desire I have is that if I have a real concept artist and that real artist does a great piece of concept art, I want to hand a digital version of that concept art to the large language model and tell it, give me all my following imagines in the style of this image I have provided. That would be so cool and solve the consistency of artistic look problem. And if I have this capability, I then want to have multiple concept insertions so I can decide on the look for all the 3D model objects, characters, scenes ahead of time, and then just have the large language model work on the small tweaks that I and the director want. We also need to receive the 3D objects, characters, and scenes generated in a way such that we can interact with them. Right now, the 17-second videos that Sora produces are static. I cannot touch the couple walking through the Japanese garden, so I cannot interact with them. That couple cannot touch anything in the large language model created world. We cannot pull leaves off the large language model created sakura trees. The couple can only walk to the end of the path specified in the original text. So today, all we have really is a parlor trick. The 17-second video looks cool, but the technology as demonstrated today cannot provide anything to the interactive world of games. Also, we'd really like to know something about the potential scalability of large language model imagines. I honestly believe that a great test would be for someone to generate the complete Pixar Toy Story text that a large language model could chew on and spit out as close to the original 81-minute film as possible. Maybe 7 days or 7 months of compute time, who knows? We need to know that before we go too much further along. For us to get from parlor trick to something useful to the interactive and filmed entertainment industries, we need some significant investment into tool building. We need a world building tool so we can work on part of the world while ignoring the rest of the scene until our character or object is completed and right for our particular purpose. That tool has to be high level and not something impossibly complicated like Autodesk's Maya. Tools like Maya are hard to learn because there are too many settings and dials and knobs that must be turned. With all this AI flying around now, we ought to be fully integrating AI into user interfaces such that the AI can know how expert the tool user is or is not. That AI then should guide, teach, get out of the way as appropriate. In these high-level tools, we need to be able to assign physics properties to our objects, characters, and scene. We need to do that at a high level such that we are not trying to reproduce physics 1 every time we create a new game world. We need to be able to assign mental and emotional state to our characters, and those states ought to be initially selections from a list with the capability for the tools user to move that anger slider to 11. So in conclusion, as I said above, generative AI is pretty much a parlor trick as it is currently deployed. It shows us great potential, but leaves us thirsting for more, something useful for building our interactive games and our multi-hour feature films. So how do we get there? Well, this is research. And from my experience, people that produce games and filmed entertainment rarely want to fund the hard work that goes into building such tools in development environments. Probably Pixar is the only company that I know that has invested greatly in that area. If we so happen to find a deep pockets long thinker interested in this, we should thank our lucky stars, take the money and run towards this great generative AI future. We need to embed generative AI researchers with game developers and filmmakers so that we don't just get cool, useless 17-second videos, but rather something that can be used in the production of 3D interactives and filmed entertainment. These are the references. There's a wonderful paper on Sora by Stephen Levy, which is in Wired Online, came out 15th of February. There's a link to it. Oxford English Dictionary, I downloaded that February 21st. And I wish to thank all of the AI and generative AI researchers that are connected to me on LinkedIn and Facebook. Their online presences, commentaries, and latest published papers are greatly appreciated. And this has been the games column, column 17. Here's my email. Here's my web page. The actual draft of the paper is up on the web page. This YouTube is linked from that web page. On the IEEE computer column, if you are on WeChat, you can find me there. Anyway, this has been the games column. And I want to say have a great day. And we'll talk to you next, and I'll let you know when that paper comes out. It'll come out probably at the 1st of May or so. It takes 2 months for IEEE to get it in the magazine and typeset it and proofread it and all that stuff. And it's a little bit old fashioned, but it's good. Anyway, there's 100,000 readers on IEEE computer for those columns. If you want to write a column for the games column, please let me know. I have every other month for my papers, and all of the other 6 months are invitations for you. You have a great day. My name is Mike Zida. Have a good day.